And we are live.
Yay.
There we go. A new first for the channel. So, welcome to Home and Away. Tonight we thought we'd show you the last hour of the transfer window. And as the clock ticks down, I do not bring you yellow ties and broad Scottish accents. I do not bring you men standing on ladders outside of club training grounds or large rubber dildos being thrust into ears. Just news from all the top sources with a Tottenham perspective. And I'm here with Josh Spice, my co-host for tonight. How are you, Josh?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Thank you for having me. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm damp. It's been a miserable day, but so much going on in the transfer window today that it's actually been a nice change. I think usually we're not that active at this point in the window, and I
Mm.
still think that there's a couple of things doing the rounds that might be of interest to us as a club and supporters as well. But I thought maybe I'd just go through maybe the big stories of the day so far, and just to see where we're at, just generally for the window as a whole, not just for Tottenham. But so of course the probably the biggest one of the whole window will be Liverpool set to sign Alexander Isak. Looks like a deal's been done at 125 million. I think he's gone for his um, he's having his medical as we speak. Looks like Liverpool and Palace have agreed a £35 million deal for Mike Gay as well. But I'm not sure if that will go through yet because Palace were in talks with Igor as a replacement, and
Yeah.
the transfer talks have broken down with him. So maybe that might put a scupper on Gay leaving or not. I think if he does go without them having a replacement, I think that would be a problem for the manager. He's already spoken out about not wanting to lose him. So we'll see how that goes. That could tip him over the edge. Bayern Munich agreed. This I still can't believe I'm going to say this out loud. £70.5 million deal to sign Nicholas Jackson. Well, it's obviously a loan with an obligation to buy it, but 70.5 million
It's unreal.
for him.
Unreal.
Yes, that's a lot. And, and unsurprisingly, Man U have signed a goalkeeper from Royal Antwerp, Sen Lamens. So for a £18.2 million deal, he's at Carrington undergoing his medical at the moment. So unsurprising that they've got him for a goalkeeper. Emi Martinez was linked, but apparently I don't know what happened there, but it all kind of fell through. I think he wanted it more than they did. Uh, so we're and
Yeah.
then Newcastle have got signed their replacement for Isak. It looks like they've got Vissa finally. £55 million for a player that had, I think, 1 year left on his contract. I feel
I
they've
sometimes
had their
figured him.
pants down a bit there.
I don't know, I think you just got to get the deals in. I think it's hard to replace Isaac. I think they've done, considering their two best options have been signed by other people. I do think they've done a pretty good job with what was left.
Well, I suppose you also got to consider that everyone knows they've got 125 million quid in their pocket as well, right? So look,
Yeah, that makes
they're
sense.
like, well, you can afford it, right? So yeah, um, interesting. So what are we at? 51 minutes ish left of the window. I think the Scottish window closes at 11, which is a bit unusual. I
That is
wasn't
strange.
I wasn't sure why that was so different. I'm also not sure why it's closing at 7 o'clock today. It's the first time ever, I think. I think previously it's always been 11 or before that
Yeah.
12.
They did it before the window, before the Premier League started that one year. That was weird.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah. I think this has been a weird window because we had the early transfer window for the clubs in the Club World
Yeah.
Cup, but for the 7 o'clock thing doesn't make any sense to me. But hey, it is what it is. And
This window
then
has,
go ahead.
I see this window has felt weird in many other ways as well. I feel all the journalists have just started using euros now, which I find
Yeah,
really strange.
you
Every transfer's in euros now, so I have to do all of the exchange rates. Fabrizio Romano has been wrong a lot, and
yeah,
everyone's
that's been a new thing.
Yeah, and no one's stories seem to be matching, which is really unusual. Even, today with is it Vissa? Oh no, it was with Colin Moani.
Yeah,
Fabrizio saying there's a buy option. David Ornstein saying there's no buy option.
I think
It's yeah.
Romano changed his story after that. There is no.
Oh,
It's a straight loan.
fair enough.
I believe. Well,
Mm.
because they seem to realign. I think originally it was going to be with a buy option, or with an obligation or an option, but in the end, after the final discussions, it was just a straight loan. So interesting. Another weird one. Jadon Sancho to Villa on loan from Man United.
Unusual, but they're a bit thin in attack, so at least get some numbers in. But I mean, I don't know what his wages are going to be like. That's the
But
big problem, right?
they were also after someone else, but someone said with them having two players, they brought in two players in attacking positions. Someone wondered if someone was going to come in for Morgan Rogers, but
Oh, they have lost Jacob Ramsey though, so they
yeah,
aren't they bringing in Harvey Elliott as kind of their
yes, as well. So him and
Jacob Ramsey
Sancho, which is
replacement?
why the rumours that maybe another one out was a thing,
Mm.
but I'm not sure if that will happen or not. Yeah, bit of a weird one that. So going to the straight Tottenham news, I guess if you look at today, the news was that I think it's just been confirmed as well that we've got Randall Kolo Muani.
Yeah,
He said he's medical, so he's a
excellent.
Tottenham player for the season. I think it's an area where we've always struggled because of injuries, right? So we've ended up with a lot of players playing as a nine rather than being a nine. And he had a very good second half of the season with Juventus last season, right?
Yeah.
Uh, just wonder if it's a different kind of league again, but we shall see.
Well, from the more I think about this transfer, the more I actually like it. When we kind of when I started hearing the rumors last night, I did feel that it was, Don wasn't going to be out for that long. And if we're going to buy him, what did we buy Tell for? Because Tell was the second option in the January window to Colin Wani.
Yeah,
So now that we've purchased Tell, is he just not trusted, or what's the deal? We've just paid money for him. But now that I think about it, he does offer quite a lot, and he offers something very different to the strikers that we do have. He
yes,
scored 8 in 13 starts for Juventus last year. I think he did similar numbers in his first year at PSG. And then before that, he did 15 goals in 11 for Frankfurt. So, I mean, he's very creative. He's great on the ball, great dribbler. He can get him behind. He can create things. He can link up play. So I
he's
think he
like
offers
he's like
something
the
different.
opposite of what we've already got, really. So it gives you're right.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's nice to have something that's not more of the same.
yeah,
And
yeah.
and even if Dom comes back very soon, it's not, oh no, we don't really need him. It's, oh, we have something
Options.
different if the game isn't going our way.
We've already seen from the first three games that Frank is quite comfortable changing things up depending on who we're playing, right? So it might be he sees
Absolutely.
that one type of player is better than against certain teams. But I have a
Yeah.
feeling that like uh, like at the weekend, it might would have been a better choice because we needed a bit of guile to break the teams down, and I don't feel we
Hmm.
really had that from the
Yeah.
game I was there and didn't really see it. So yeah, I think he'll work quite well with Xavi Simons and with Kudus. I think that's quite a
Yeah.
good match in terms of the way that they want to play. Feels
Yeah,
like we're
absolutely.
buying certain type of player, right? Players that will make chances, will take people on, and
Yeah,
so
I think we've been missing that big time for a long time. Having players that can kind of take the game by the scruff of the neck and kind of do things themselves. I think we have become a team in which we look around and try and wait for someone else to do things rather
yeah.
than get do it ourselves. So it's great to have those options for sure.
I was just seeing the scrolling on the Sky Sports news. The that Eric Ten Hag been sacked after 2 games.
Unbelievable, unbelievable. This is. I mean, I know he's got a reputation. He's not that, obviously it's hard to be the Manchester United manager, but he is a decent manager. He's okay. And
Yeah,
they've sold Wirtz, they sold Tar, they sold Frimpong. They were fine with getting rid of Victor Boniface, even though he failed his medical.
yeah.
And what do you expect? What do you expect him to do? You expect everything to go exactly the same as it was last season with the new manager, all your best players being sold,
Yeah.
and you're only gonna give him 2 games. Surely something is gonna happen. Has
Something must
happened
have.
behind the scenes.
Oh,
There's no
100%.
way.
He's obviously said something out of turn and got himself into trouble.
Yeah, and the replacements they brought in aren't
They're not like
aren't
for
world
like.
beaters. No,
No.
exactly. Conte looks good, but he hasn't played that much football.
But you could say that none of the players that they sold when they got them look good. They've developed those players, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So
But
I think
what
there's
I'm
a
saying is they're not going to be at the same level as last season. You're not going to be able to kind of just add that on to last season. It'd be a continuation of the same quality.
yeah, yeah.
It's starting
Yeah,
again.
there's definitely a drop off for sure.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So just to summarise our own transfers then, so now we have Randall Colomwani, Xavi Simons, who I was fortunate enough to see walk on the pitch on Saturday.
Nice.
So I think for me that's probably the most important signing of the window for us so far. I think
Absolutely.
it's absolutely a creative role that we've needed.
Oh, it
I
saved
mean,
the window.
yeah, completely. I'm still
Absolutely.
interested to see where he plays, whether he'll play as a 10 or on the left. I'm still not sure.
I think that'll be a personnel thing. I think he'll start with the 10. Maybe if Kulusevski or Madison come back and, uh,
Got options.
yeah, they're doing well in training, then maybe you kind of mix and match. But it's good to kind of have lots of different options. Either way, he kind of prefers, no matter where he's playing, he kind of prefers that left half space, that kind of tricky area that kind of Sun used to drift into
Mm,
anyway. So I don't think either playing him in either position is going to really affect his output that much.
yeah, yeah.
Would you
Kudos.
say?
Sorry, go ahead.
Would you say that Xavi Simons is the punchiest transfer for Tottenham in recent memory?
I
Can
was
you
with
think of a punchier
talk.
one?
No, I can't. I think apart from you could probably say Bale coming back on loan,
Yeah, yeah,
but then before that, it's probably like Van der Vaart.
I agree.
So since then, I mean, we've I don't think we've really struggled to bring in players any better than the first team that we have. Right,
Yeah,
we've punted a lot of money on potential, and it
mm,
hasn't always paid out. Sometimes it has, but it's
yeah,
taken like could have taken some seasons. Like Son was not the finished article when we got him. He wasn't that great in the first season, and so there's a lot of players, and even like Bale first time round
yeah.
didn't
Yeah,
took
the
a,
Bale
took a good
curse.
season. Yeah,
Yeah,
and then there's a whole bunch of players in between Van der Vaart and now that we just would be best that we didn't name.
yeah.
Yeah, we must have spent something like £500 million on players that
And just
you
nonsense.
would
Yeah.
want to forget.
Shout out Clinton and G.
And and many more.
Yeah,
Oi oi oi. Yeah, so then Kota Takai, who we've still not seen yet in a Spurs shirt, apart from
yeah,
for his photo when he was, I think he joined and got immediately injured, so the Tottenham curse wins again. Then obviously we just talked about Rando Colomani. So probably as important is to talk about the outgoings, right? So
absolutely.
obviously Son Heung-min left to LAFC for just over 20 million, so that's an MLS record, which is a bit
Well,
strange. I thought they would have. I guess they've taken a lot of European players on freeze
yeah, they're
and
more
paid
likely
big
to sell.
salaries.
Yeah,
Brian Gill today has gone to Girona for 8.65 million.
can't believe it.
Probably one of the worst transfers in football history.
So
Um,
much potential. 25 mil and Lamella as well.
yeah,
That's what
and
hurts
then
the
and
most.
for
We
the
gave them
last
Lamella.
3 years he's been on loan somewhere else. He's been
Absolutely.
very poor business. And then there's a bunch of loan players, like the players that have gone out on loan, mostly the younger players, like the sort of under 21 players that were promoted into first team squad and played a lot of pre-season. they've all gone out. And Vuskovic, the most recent one, he's gone to Hamburg for the
Hmm.
season, which I think is probably not a bad thing. Playing at a decent level in a decent league, and he'll probably get to play regularly there. I
Yeah,
think he'll
well, it
do really
looks.
well.
Yeah, I think he'll do amazingly. It looks though that we aren't going to get in a centre back. So was did we pull the trigger too early on that? I think he could have got some good minutes here. To be fair, he's looked great in
Yeah,
pre-season.
I think the problem is we won't know until I'd at least have had a break in the loan deal so that we could bring him back
Yeah,
if we needed to. But
yeah,
I don't know whether that'll happen or not. And then though, I'm also hearing that Palace are interested in Solomon, which
yeah,
I would I'd be okay with that. He's clearly not going to play for us again, so I just want him to find somewhere else to go and play football.
yeah. It's really strange one. I mean, he had such a good. I mean, maybe it would have been different if he didn't get injured in pre-season. Could have had a bit more of a look at him. I heard yesterday that he was going to stay, but maybe that was just because there was just no offers for him. I think
I
he'll
mean,
do well.
he has turned down other offers, so there's no guarantee he'll take the Palace offer if it does come. I guess.
I think he'd take it. I definitely think he would. I mean, he's a good. He's a great. I think he's a good player, and I think he'll do well for him. I just
Yeah.
don't think it's one of those players. He just needs that little bit more kind of Premier League development, and I just don't think we're willing or have the patience to allow that with him.
And not only did we have a squad of players in front of him last season, we've now bought heavily in the
Yeah,
positions that he could have played in for us as well. So that door is well and truly closed to him, I think. So it is better for him to find a club that he'll play more frequently,
yeah,
for sure.
absolutely. He's a great player.
And then what else did I have? Oh, so players that we're still being linked with. We were being linked with Akanji, but I understand that a deal's close with AC Milan for him.
Inter, I think.
Oh, Inter, or maybe they've
Yeah.
changed. That's another one. But yeah, I think it's not that much money, but that's why I thought if
Yeah,
we
it
were
was.
going to get defender, I thought that was good value. But
Yeah, no, that was just a no-brainer for me. So it feels a bit strange that they didn't pull the trigger. But maybe it was a game-time thing for him because I mean he
yeah,
would play games
yeah,
here, but he's not going to be, the
no,
guy.
he's not going to start
Yeah,
most games.
yeah.
Yeah, and actually, it makes sense from when you put it like that. He's going to struggle. Um, and Lookman, Adamola Lookman, still rumours floating around about us making a late swoop for him.
Yes, but his Bayern is the issue with that one, right?
Where he wants to go to Bayern, or
No, no, no. The Bayern are pretty close to a deal. I think they're closer than we are.
oh really? I haven't
Yeah,
seen anything on that. So
yeah.
the last,
That's the kind of issue that we've got. I think that's why we went for
but
Kolo Muani.
they've just spent 70 million on uh, Jackson, I
Yes, but
suppose.
that's true. That is true. But they do need more uh, left wing options because they got rid of all three of their left wingers. They got rid of I think Coman's gone to Saudi. Uh,
Tell,
Chel's gone to us. Leo Sané's gone to Galatasaray. So they brought in Luis Diaz, but he kind of needs some backup. So I think it
yeah.
looks pretty good. It's pretty much. It
But
feels a little
why
bit
would
like it's going to go straight there.
Lookman go to Bayern and be a number two to Luis Diaz?
But they're gonna play. They're gonna get to the final of pretty much every competition they're in. Maybe not the Champions League, but they're gonna play a lot of games. So I think he'll get plenty of minutes, considering there's
Yeah,
no one else.
I guess that makes sense. But yeah, I still think I'm always surprised that sometimes that like the number of players that have gone to Chelsea who
Hmm.
clearly aren't they're not even there's not even room for them in the dressing room, let alone on the pitch. I
Garnacho's
don't understand. I
confusing
start
us.
I It's funny. I was on the train on the way back from the game on Saturday, and I bumped into one of the guys I used to be involved with, Yate United. He's a big Chelsea fan, and they were on their way back from the Chelsea game, and we were just chatting about football, and I did say to him, I got to ask, I just don't understand the transfer policy at all. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, it just seems to be like you're playing the footballing equivalent of Hungry Hippos. And like you're
I
just going after every player that you can get your hands on and like farming them, and and then just sending them out somewhere into pasture for a season and then selling them on again. It just feels like there's a lot of the rate of churn for even the players they brought in last season or the season before are on their way out again. It's like almost like a revolving door. It just doesn't. Are they waiting for
Absolutely.
one of them to really be good? I don't understand. So
I don't think that. I think a lot of clubs, something I've noticed in this window, a lot of clubs, us included, have uh, realized how important experience is. We've had a long time before that of everyone trying to buy the young, the wonder kids, the young players that can be someone. But I think everyone's realised that experience is needed as well. I don't think I think Chelsea still don't realise that, so they kind of are having this kind of FIFA style, you know, sorting by under 21, sorting by potential, buying them all and hoping for the best type situation. I think it it doesn't. I don't think it bodes well for the squad or the morale. I don't think you can really get much going when there's so much turnover. And I mean, I get the whole thing of, you buy them in for 20 million and then they've paid for Chelsea a bit, you sell them for 30, and that's great. But it feels like it feels like a lot of work for quite a bit of damage.
yeah, yeah, you're probably right. I see we've got our first comment in the chat. Hey guys, do you think
Yeah.
that this is from Alex, my guest from the last episode? Do you think this transfer window suggests Spurs are aiming for stability or for a stronger push in the league? I think there's a bit of both, I guess. More than stability, I think we needed to show some improvement in certain areas and a bit of depth. So I think with no one injured, we had a good first 11, but the problem was always with a bit of with a few injuries, we started to look very very weak. So I think
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah, I think we always kind of the last couple of seasons we've been buying potential and people that can grow into the squad, and I think if we kept doing that, new young players would be blocking the ones we've already bought,
yeah,
and blocking their path into the first team. And I think we've have improved the squad over the last couple of seasons, but we haven't really we've raised the floor, but we haven't really raised the ceiling of the squad. We haven't really brought in, players in their prime, players already made, players with good experience that can make a really big difference and elevate the first team. So I think that's the right way to go with this season, and I'm kind of glad that
yeah,
we have gone down that road.
yeah. And you think with all the uh, we start the season with access to all of the trophies,
Yeah,
so it's just a matter of being able to put out a strong enough team in each of them to keep them all going as
yeah,
long as
absolutely.
possible.
Absolutely. Yeah, and we've obviously had so many injuries last season. Having a big squad with quality players is a huge thing because we know how easily it can all fall apart. You think you've got
Yeah, exactly.
you think you've got two great players in one position, and then you realise they're both injured, and then you're
And
like,
usually in
oh,
the same game, something
exactly,
like
yeah,
that. I never get that. Yeah, we've had like games where we've lost two or three key positions
yeah,
and a sending off.
yeah.
So yeah, we've been
Everyone's going to
stung
get
by that
games.
before. Yeah,
Mm.
I think you're right. Yes, so well, and still see. What are we down? About 30 minutes to go. There's a lot of
How,
there's a I've I don't think I've seen this many transfers at the top level of football for a long time. The amount of money that's been spent is
yeah,
massive. I don't
yeah.
know if there's a I don't understand the reason for that. Look at how much Liverpool have spent. I think that puts them over if they do the last two deals, puts them over 400 million for the
That's
window.
They didn't spend any money last window, right? So it's in a
Yeah.
bit of a they're in a bit of a weird position in the sense that their kind of development season is now their second season, not their first one. They
Yeah.
kind of just carried on the Jurgen Klopp thing for an extra year, got the trophy, won the league, and then was like, okay, now we're starting again. Now we're rebuilding. So I think it's going to be a really interesting one to see how that turns out. I have a question for you. What would you
Go
rate
for it.
our window out of 10, and what would make it a 10 if it isn't already?
I'd probably go. I'd say a strong 7. I'm not.
Interesting. Okay.
I think we've done well. We've improved in certain areas. I I would have maybe I think for the future add like an Adam Wharton instead of Fellaini would have been a probably would have put me at a 10. Someone who's got a
Yeah.
good sort of 8 years ahead of them rather than maybe 3 to 5 years. And I also think he's better with the ball, which I
Oh
think.
yeah, he's amazing, but that's 100 mil easy for
And then I guess that's the thing is that we at some point to improve on what we've got, we're gonna have to go. We're gonna have to break that cap.
yeah,
I'm just not
spend
sure that
spend the
we're
cash.
ready to do that yet.
Yeah.
But I have to say, fair play. We've spent money to buy proper established
Mm.
experienced players in the areas that we needed them, right? Which is
Yeah.
what we I think that was what was said before the even before the start of the transfer window. I think when Frank came in, everyone was talking about what we need now is we bought all the youngsters. We've got a good young squad. Now we need to bring in the experience in key areas
Absolutely.
to improve the overall performance. So,
Absolutely.
yeah,
I agree. Yeah, interesting. Interesting.
yeah.
How would you compare it to the other kind of big teams transfer? Or maybe we'll go
I
through them. We'll go through them one by one, and you
yeah.
you you rate their window.
Okay.
Okay. We'll start with Liverpool. Liverpool have bought in. Well, it's looking like Isaac for 125 million pounds. Uh, Florian Wirtz for 125 million euros. Hugo Ekitike for 95 million euros. Kirkes for 47. Frimpong for 40. Giovanni Leone from Parma for 31 million euros. And then Pesci from Puskas AFC.
Joe Pesci.
Now Armin Pesci from
Ah,
Puskas
get
AFC
it. His
for
brother.
1.78 million euros. They were
That's a bit
also
of an
though
aberration, that one, isn't it? It's like
they've sold
that's like a
really well
rounding
though.
error for the remaining.
Exactly,
Yeah,
it's
they have.
very it's pocket change. They've sold well though as well. They've Luis Diaz out the door for 70 million euros. Darwin Núñez out the door for 53. Quansah 35. Ben Doak out the door for 23 million euros. Kelleher for 15. Trent for 10. Tyler Morton for 10. And Nat Phillips for 3.5.
Yeah, so they've you'd have to say, I guess the jury will be out on um, whether or not that they've done a really good job until we've seen it all gel. Because I
Yeah,
don't know about you, but for the first 3 games, they've done really well, but without really getting into fifth gear, they just look like they're
yeah.
coasting at the moment. It doesn't look, it's not gelled completely yet.
Oh, there's
So I
so much
think,
turnover.
but in terms of squad quality and depth, you'd have to say that they've had an absolute 10, haven't they? I
Yeah,
think.
that's it. Yeah,
Um,
they've done so well.
the
I
issue when you buy that many players is always how long it takes to gel everyone together. But you were right
absolutely.
what you said actually that last season he didn't really have to change that much because the personnel stayed pretty much the same.
Yeah,
And this is like his transition season where luckily he's got a league win
yeah.
in his
In the
pocket
back pocket.
already,
Yeah,
and now he can spend a bit of time bedding all these new players in. But Christ, it's a scary looking lineup, isn't it?
yeah. What do you
Really
think
is.
about what do you think about the Ekatike deal with Isak coming in? It feels to me that it was kind of one or the other, and they've bought both. So I mean,
Yeah,
Ekatike's looked amazing so far, and it feels like
yeah.
now that they're bringing Isaac in for 125 million pounds, I don't think because Ekatike is there, it doesn't feel like Isaac makes them 125 million pounds better.
No, agreed. You're right. I don't see. The problem is going to be when you spent like over 215 million pounds on two centre forwards. You've got to try and keep them happy. How are you
Yeah,
gonna? You've got to give them enough game time each to. I think that's going to be a struggle.
yeah,
But
absolutely.
I guess if you're winning, it. It's like with the old Man United teams, like when they had like all of the players in all positions and backups for all of them, and they would rotate on occasion. When you're in a winning team and a winning side, people are more patient, right? I guess because you're going to win a lot of trophies.
Yeah.
But yeah, in teams that are maybe not winning, it's more of a problem.
Mm. Yeah,
So yeah, I'd
absolutely.
say for Liverpool, for me is a 10. I think they've done amazing business. I'd still need to understand the financially how they've done it. I'm
Y-
hoping it
Yeah,
feels like they must have taken themselves right up to the
to the line.
fair
Yeah.
play edge. I know that you said they've sold well and they have, but it's probably net spends about 200 million or something like that. Or
Well, they got without Gehi or Isaac, they've got 340 million in. They spent 340 mil,
yeah,
and 220 has gone out.
yeah.
So
Does that include Harvey
it's
Elliott? Which I think has gone on with a
no, it
loan
doesn't
with a
include Harvey Elliott.
because he's gone out
So
with a loan with a option to buy. I think it's an
yes,
option, or I'm not sure.
but that's a drop in the ocean of the Isaac money, isn't it?
Well, it's 40 over 40 million.
Really? I thought it was
Yeah,
20 something. Oh wow,
no, I don't
wow,
think so.
wow.
No, it's just
Okay, maybe it's
which is
yeah.
probably why we probably balked at that. I think.
Mm,
Yeah, so so including that then, that means they've spent close to 500 million.
it's incredible. It's
So,
incredible.
yeah,
Right, let's move on to Man
wowzers.
United. What do you think about the Man United transfers? We got Benjamin Sesko in for 76 million, and Buemo in for 75, Cunha in for 74, and then Diego Leon for 4 million euros, and then out free transfers and loans, and all they've sold is Garnacho for 46 million euros, and they're
I
bringing
think,
in that keeper for 20 million euros or
yeah,
something.
and I think Anthony's gone today as well,
Ah, yes, yes, good for him.
but not for that much. For
No.
again, like it was like I think
Oh,
it's
and
like
Sancho
and
out the door as
Sancho
well.
on loan, but that's
Sorry,
still only
this
a loan.
transfer market has not
It's
quite updated quite as
constantly
quickly.
moving. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a constantly moving target.
yeah,
Um, I think that they had a lot of stuff to get rid of because they had bought very poorly over the past 3 or 4 seasons, and they had players on their books that were clearly not good enough or not going to play, and so they had a lot of people to get rid of. They've sold quite well, I think, in the end. They've lost a shit ton of money, but hey, that's what happens when you make terrible decisions. And then,
absolutely.
but actually, I like the front line, the three players that they bought. I think Sesko, we'll wait and see. I think again, there's always a transition to Premier League. It doesn't always work for every player. Like you've only got to look at how many players they bought that haven't worked out.
Yeah,
Um, but I like obviously Mbuemo and um, Cunha are both. They already look quite sharp. They've scored, and I like the look of that. But I honestly think that they they have other issues,
I
like
agree.
the other defensive issues and probably deeper lying midfield issues, because now with that front three, you've got Bruno Fernandes, who you assume will play behind them in a more advanced role. Doesn't leave you a lot of. I don't know who then we've got a number of defensive players that could play in midfield with them, but that there's probably quality jump that needs to happen there as well. And then defence, their fullbacks, yeah. So maybe with a keeper that'll help them. But I mean, I'd say they're probably probably a good 7 or 7.5, shall we say?
Hmm.
But spent a lot of money to do it as well, though, right? Again,
Yeah, yeah. I do have a big problem with a lot of Man United's business. I do think that they should have solved the midfield problem massively, as you're saying, Bruno Fernandes in the two, and then they need some legs, which they don't have. It's Casemiro or Ugarte, and he doesn't want to play Kobe Mainoo for some reason. So, and he doesn't want to change the system. So they
and he doesn't
needed
want to
some.
sell him. So it's like
Exactly.
he's.
So
I don't
so
understand that either.
I think Sheshko as a transfer for Manchester United is a terrible transfer. Not because Sheshko's a bad player, but because he's a young, inexperienced player with no minutes in the Premier League before. When have Man
Sounds
United done
familiar,
this?
doesn't it?
Exactly. It's happened last season with Xerxes, the season before with Rasmus Højlund. I think, and the same with the keeper. They're buying a 20-year-old keeper to be the number one at Manchester United, who's only played in the Belgian league. I don't think. I think Manchester United need to understand they can't use young players like other clubs.
Yeah.
That it's such a toxic environment, and the expectation is way too high, and there is some delusion sometimes from the owners and sometimes from the fans of what they expect from a team that hasn't been good since 2013. So there's so much pressure. Andre Onana played in Champions League finals, and he looks so unbelievably shaky. And they're going to put a 20-year-old in goal and expect everything to be okay. And the same with
I think.
Sheshko. I think you should have got actual proven Premier League goals with a player in his prime or even older, like a Cavani type, someone who just a
Yeah.
safe pair of hands to score the goals, so you could spend the money elsewhere.
Yeah. I don't disagree with you at all. I feel like but they have a history of spending all of their money in the wrong places in the squad, right? Like the amount
Absolutely.
of tens and wide attacking players that they bought over the last 5 seasons. They've literally pissed away probably 500 million on players
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
sold them on for like 50.
Yeah, it's
Really
crazy.
awful.
I do think Embuemo and Cunha, great signings
Good
for them.
players. Yeah, yeah,
Some of their best signings in a long time. But
yeah, yeah.
after they brought them two in, they just went back to how they usually do things, and that was frustrating to watch. Right, moving on to Manchester City. So they've brought in Trafford. They're bringing in Donnarumma, which must be
Yes.
really annoying for James
I
Trafford.
bet Trafford's really happy with
Yeah,
that.
yeah. They brought in Tijani Reinders.
So another
Great
question.
signing.
Weirdly, right, Donnarumma is still what, 26?
Unbelievable, right?
Why does he look like a 50-year-old? And why is his head bigger than the rest of his body?
I think it's just the genuine feeling that he's been around for so long that starts to look a bit older because he
Yeah,
started he was the first team keeper at 16 for Milan, so he feels like he should be
yeah.
in his well
That's
in his
so weird,
30s.
isn't it? He's
Yeah,
such an anomaly as a
yeah,
player.
it's unbelievable. I mean, also Tizani Reinder's been brought in, Eight Nori's been brought in, Cherky, Trafford, uh, Naipan from Rosenborg. I've never heard of him. And then out McAtee, guy, Kuto. I've never heard of him. He's gone for 20 million to Borussia Dortmund. Never heard of him. And Perone to Como for 13 million. What do you think of that business? Out of
I
10.
think on paper, right, we talked a bit about this when we did the review after the Man City game. They had no choice but to make a significant that squad needed surgery. They had a lot of it was an aging squad. They had a lot of very very good players, but they all got old around the same time.
Mm.
So they had to freshen the squad up, get more youth into the squad, and that always brings a risk, doesn't it? A bit like with the Man United young players that you said. You bring people into a high pressure environment. They've got to be able to survive that. Um, and they've brought the average age of the squad down significantly. That the game against Tottenham was the youngest team that they've ever put out since 2010.
Wow. I
So
didn't know
so a
that.
really big reduction in the squad age. So that's good. So it's the work that they needed to do. But I fear that this season it might be because they lost again, didn't they? Did they lose again?
Yeah, they lost to Brighton 2-1.
Yeah. I have a feeling this season might come too soon for them to make a Premier League
Yeah.
attack. But I
Yeah,
feel like with a season under his belt, they could still win a trophy. But it might take a
absolutely.
while to get them all to gel again. Again, it's a bit like I said with Liverpool. It's a lot of new players, but
Yeah.
they're kind of team. Them and City have a tendency to start slow but finish strong. If you look at a lot of
Yeah.
seasons, they've done that, right? They get up to Christmas, they suddenly hit their stride, and then they win 20 games on the bounce or something. and then push themselves back up the table. And Liverpool find a way to win even when they're not playing well. So those teams who have got players to bed, they just need to find a way to keep winning games whilst they're doing that. And I think
I
both of
agree.
them both of them are capable of that. So yeah, and I don't see City winning the league this year, but I can see them maybe with a strong second half of the season, finishing top three
Yeah.
with a good run, maybe in the cups if they can stay in the Champions League towards the end. Maybe they'll hit their stride around the right time for that.
Yeah. Awesome. What would you give out of 10?
Uh, 7.
7. Interesting. Interesting. I do think they've bought very well.
Yeah,
Uh, and but I completely agree with everything you said. I think it's a big rebuild because they haven't really rebuilt uh, for a long time because they were just winning so
they've
much. You
just done
kind of
odd
adding one or
players here
two
and there.
players.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. So it's a big transitional year for them. We've talked about Chelsea quite a lot. Let's move on to Arsenal. Let's move on to the Gooners. Uh, a lot
We
of
haven't got
business.
we need like a 4 hour show just to talk about this transfer window for Chelsea
I know.
because there's so many. I literally seen so and so's gone out on loan. When did they buy him? I have
Yeah.
no idea.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Okay, so Zubimendi in for 70 million euros. Eze in 70 million euros. Yeah. Gyökeres 65, Madueke 56, Mascara 15, and Norgard 12 million euros, which I think is a great deal. And Kepa in for a backup keeper for 6 million euros. They haven't really sold. They've got Lokonga out for 3 million, Marquinhos out for 3 million, and Tavares out for 5 million.
who I didn't even know was still there.
Yeah,
He must have been on loan for a couple of seasons, mustn't
he
he?
has
I
been.
think.
Yeah, yeah, he has been.
Um, so I mean, good signings for the majority in good positions. I think Gyökeres is. We'll see. So far, he's not. It's going to take him a while to adjust to Premier League. I think. Um, I think the thing is right. They had a strong squad last season. They did well, but they tailed off a bit towards the end. So he's basically filled in all the gaps he had in the squad. He's got no excuses now, has he?
I was going to say the exact same thing. I
I
was going to
don't
say the
think second
exact
place
same
is
thing.
enough
No,
for
he's not.
him.
He's had. I would say this is a 10 out of 10 window. You've got Zubamendi, who is fantastic as a footballer, as a great Premier League experience. Gyökeres, one of the most sought after strikers, the high scoring strikers of the last couple of years. Madueke, who, has Premier League experience and is a great backup to
It's a
Saka, which
weird,
was a problem. It's a
yeah,
weird deal and it's
yeah.
expensive, but it's got them in. It doesn't really matter the price if you've got the thing you
They've got a bit of
wanted.
a loving going on with Chelsea, haven't they? As well, it's like
Yeah, so that's weird, isn't it?
I know
Uh,
it is.
I think Norgard's a great deal. Getting a captain, Premier League experience, just a safe pair of hands, just to come on.
It's a really good
Cheap deal
buy.
as well. And Kepa, a good backup keeper. Mosquera, they filled every single gap. There's no more excuses. There's no, I've not got this, I've not got that. He's got to
Yeah,
win it. That's it. He has to.
yeah.
There's nothing. If you looked at this and you think, who else could have they bought? Are there better options they could have bought? And pretty much for every single one, I'm thinking no.
The only one I would have said that I think Isaac is a better would have been a better
Yeah, but
striker
considering
with
the
proven
like the
Premier
amount
League
of
goals.
money, yeah. But it's
Oh
considering the
yeah,
money, half price if it's Gyökeres is.
yeah.
Uh,
But then maybe they'd have been better off doing that and not buying Madueke, for instance.
maybe, maybe.
Maybe you just put them two together. I think then the impact of Isaac would have on that team would be more than those other two players. But
Yeah, I think so. But I think what they're very very elite level talents that they've brought in for every single position. I mean, I know Madueke is not elite, but I would say he's a pretty elite backup. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, I'm
So,
sure he'd love to be
yeah.
have been described as that.
Yeah, but do you know what I mean? Like as a kind of player where Saka gets injured to come in, it's a pretty high level to stay at. So I would say 10 out of 10, no excuses. Right, last one.
Yeah.
Let's go on to Newcastle's business. I've got some interesting opinions about
Oh,
Newcastle's
Newcastle.
business. Okay, so
Yeah.
they have uh brought in Ramsdale on a loan. Interesting.
Yeah, as a
They've brought
backup
in.
or
Well, that's the thing. They were looking. Obviously, they were trying so hard to get James Trafford. Everyone's rejected Newcastle this window, but I think they've ended up with a pretty good window. They brought in Theo from AC Milan as a kind of centre back. I think he can play at full back as well. Jacob Ramsey, Alanga,
it's goodbye.
uh, Voltemade from Stuttgart, and now they've brought in Johan Wissa and out Sean Longstaff and Lloyd Kelly, and then Callum Wilson, Hayden, and oh, of course, Isaac has gone too.
Yeah, we kind of assumed that one was already happening because he's basically down tools for about the
Oh,
last
he's
month.
not going to play for him again, is he?
No, no.
Yeah. So what do you
I
think
mean,
out of 10?
they I think they were in pretty good shape. Like they had a few older players that and people or fringe players that they've moved on. Like Callum Wilson, he was a I think wasn't he one of the first players that Eddie Howe brought in like back when
I
he
think so.
took over. Like, but I guess he served his purpose, right? He was their primary then backup when they brought in Isaac, and he's had a lot of injury problems himself, hasn't he? So
Yeah, big time.
no no issues there. I think generally decent. Again, there wasn't a lot of weaknesses in the squad, but depth isn't a bad thing. I'd say for them as an eight probably. I think they've considering that they've lost Isaac, that at least they brought Visser in with proven Premier League goals. But here's my thing about all of the Brentford players have moved on. I have a feeling it's going to be like the Brighton players that move on, right? Is that
It's the system, not
the
the
players?
players.
It's the system,
Yeah.
not the players. So,
Mm.
but maybe I'll be proven wrong. But I have a feeling that the players have looked good because of the way that they've been supported within a system. But we'll see. I mean, but on paper, we can only talk about that at the moment because obviously some of these deals they've, they've never played a game for them yet. At the moment, I'd say on paper a good 8 out of 10 for them. Given what happened to them with the whole Ezek thing, I think they've come out of it pretty well. They've spent if you think that they've spent some of that Ezek money across the other players, it's they've strengthened the squad better and still retained a goal scorer, which probably not a bad bit of business all round.
Yeah, I agree. I think the kind of issue that I don't think they addressed is depth. I think they could have done with a lot more, like kind of raising the floor, getting some kind of 20-30 million pound squad players in,
Yeah.
just to kind of bulk out. I know they brought in Theo and things, but I still think they could have done with some more defenders. Uh,
Do you think
just
it's been money that's like the
they are,
PFI
yeah, they are on the PSR. They're on the line.
PSR? Sorry, yeah,
So I do really like the way that they have replaced Isaac. I think Voltemade. I know he's only really had one season of top flight football, but he is an absolute freak of nature. 6'6", unbelievable dribbler. Great with the ball. Can link up play. I think it's you kind of have to buy someone a little bit unusual to replace Isaac because he has everything. So you need
yeah,
someone. You need to kind of prioritize the top three or four things and just go right. Let's just get that. And he's big. He's strong. He's quick. He can get in behind. He can link up the play. He's a great finisher. He's really intelligent, and I think that's great. I mean, I know he isn't quite, particularly developed, but I think that's great that they've brought in Visser. And as you were saying, like it's the kind of, I think they're starting the Callum Wilson Isak cycle again,
yeah, yeah.
in which Visser will play. He will start. He'll be the guy to get the goals. It will take the pressure and help the development of Automade. And I think he's going to be. I genuinely think he's going to be pretty good. If not, he's going to be really, really fun to watch.
It's going to be
So,
entertaining if nothing
yeah,
else.
he is. He is just. People call him Volta Messi because of he's just this absolutely massive geezer. He'll just dribble through people, just left, right, left, right. It's
So
unbelievable.
funny.
I,
But
I
it's
cannot.
weird,
I've
isn't
never
it?
seen
Like
anything like it.
the usual expectation for big guys is that they're
Mm.
really not good with their feet. But
Yeah.
even Crouch was a terrible header of the football,
Yeah.
but he was really good with his feet. He had good, he could play with both feet. He was decent. So it
Yeah.
was a bit odd.
I guess it's like a center of gravity thing because he kind of dribbles like he's 6'6", this guy, and he dribbles like he's 5'6". Like he can just
Yeah,
turn, he can turn and move in ways that other very, very tall people just cannot move.
it's
It's
just gonna. It just looks unnatural.
Yeah, but it is, and I'm really excited. I think Alanga is an okay signing. It's just kind of it's
It's
more of
pace.
what they have. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
more of what they have, and it fits the system. I kind of worry that maybe he doesn't offer anything different. So if Plan A isn't working, can your 60 million euro signing offer any sort of Plan B? He kind of,
yeah, yeah,
I mean, I know he's kind of it's the way that they play and it's the way that they work, and that's great that he's really good at that thing and it fits really
yeah,
great. But I struggle to think, what if it doesn't work? What happens then?
yeah, yeah. At least they've not bet everything on him.
Yeah,
So they've given themselves options, which is good.
yeah.
Yeah. So
I
all
don't
in all, I'd
mind.
say a good window. I think.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
And
Don't mind Ramsdale either. I think that's a good shout. I think
it's
he's.
good.
I,
It's
mean, I
good
know his
business.
stocks. I know his stocks down, but I think he's actually a good keeper.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's a decent backup. Christ, yeah.
Mm.
Assuming he's a backup. So there's some other notable transfers as well. Like Forest, I think, have done a lot of business, and
Yeah,
Sunderland as well.
yeah.
They've been incredibly busy in the window. They've
Mm.
spent a lot of money.
I love
Then they said
Everton's
something
business.
weird, like isn't the owner of Sunderland like about 25 or something?
Yeah, he's 27. He bought him when he was 23.
Wow,
Yeah.
he's just living the dream.
Yeah, crazy. Crazy, crazy. I love Everton's signings. Everton's
Yeah,
Everton's business has been unreal. Jack Grealish is huge. Dewsbury Hall's great because he can play that attacking midfield role as well as Grealish, uh, but also play kind of deeper in the eight. Barry's great. He looked great in the under 21 Euros. He's a great signing. They've got Tyler Dibling as well, which is quite
yeah,
exciting.
yeah.
Yeah, I think they've really kind
They've
of
spent they've
sorted it
spent
out.
quite a lot and spent quite well,
Yeah, I think and I love
but they've
Moyes. I
not. I
think
don't think they've. I don't think they've had their pants pulled down by anyone either. I think they've not overpaid for players. Like
yeah,
Tyler Dibling
absolutely.
was what 30, 35.
I think
Wasn't
so,
I
something
didn't
like
think that
that.
was didn't think that was bad money compared to considering that last season at some point they were talking about like 100 million or something
Yeah,
ridiculous. So
stupid,
yeah,
stupid. But I love David Moyes as well. I think they're going to push
he's
top half
doing
of the
an
table.
amazing job.
Yeah,
Really
he's
is. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, there we go. Anthony's 21.7 million to
Ah,
Betis. Still, well, that's not
yeah,
bad. They paid what
not bad.
90 million for him. 90 million euros, I think it might have been.
Yeah,
So that's taken quite a hit on that, haven't they?
yeah. Oh, so we've got 2 minutes left of the window,
Whoop, whoop.
and we have not signed a centre back, or I mean, we've signed Colomwani. Is he that left winger? How do you feel about maybe Colomwani being that left winger striker signing? Would you have preferred someone else as well as a left wing? And how do you feel about kind of not getting in that centre back?
Centre back. I feel like we have probably enough players. But then I thought that last season as well. So it's just a risk. It's always a risk, right? You would think that we've got enough players that we've got cover, unless we have a long term injury to somebody again. But then I've heard that Dragosin's only took a couple of weeks from being back in full training, so
Yeah,
that's good. I'm pleased about that.
yeah,
But
that
then
is
so
really
then
good.
we'll have two good centre back covers. Plus we've got Gentle Ben who can come in
Yeah,
and play if we need him to. So yeah, I think we'll probably. I mean, always think you can always do better,
yeah,
but in terms of where we needed money invested, it wasn't. I don't think it was a priority.
Mm.
Like some of the players who we were linked with, like 70 million for like centre backs. I was thinking,
Yeah,
I think we need
backups
to
as
spend
well.
that somewhere else. Like
Yeah, yeah.
if you watch the game at the weekend, which I did, and I'm
Mm.
sure a lot of people have seen it since, I didn't think we did really struggle to break them down. We had really struggled to make chances. So it was about 70 minutes before we really started to um, make some changes and then make chances. So I feel like the horses for courses, like when we need to play a certain way against certain types of teams, we need players that are gonna be able to play the way that he wants. I think we were missing a kind of creative 10, so I'm hoping Simmons is the
He will be.
has the ability to do that for us.
Yeah,
And then you're right, and then maybe the option is that he puts Marnie up front and Richarlison moves out onto the left because he's done that before as well. And we've got good options, um, and there we have it. The window is closed. So yeah, I
right.
think unless something else comes up in the meantime, sometimes you get that, don't you? Like last minute deals they come in after the fact. But
Yeah,
I
I think it's
don't.
unlikely.
I think that was our last business of the day. Maybe a
Mm.
few loans. Maybe out to Scotland because I guess we can still do that up until 11 o'clock.
That's true.
Maybe if we haven't sold Solomon, maybe he goes to somewhere in Scotland
Yeah.
for a while. I guess I don't know what the other because there's always this weird one where like some of the leagues are open for like extra days. Like Turkey's always really a like
Yeah.
last ditch.
Saudi, I think
Anyway,
last year as well was a big one.
yeah. I'm not sure why we. I think we should be consistent, and they should all the windows should close at the same time. I guess the issue is the time difference between the different, but like should be the same
That's true.
day at least.
Yeah. I
Would
guess
feel
it's
reasonable.
hard to organize that, I guess, as a
Well, that's why we
program.
have governing bodies, isn't it?
I guess that's true. That's true. That's true. Yeah.
uh, yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. It's weird it not being, it's weird not sitting in front of the TV watching Jim White at 11 p.m. But
Yeah, I mean, like the very different setup now on Sky these days.
mm,
I don't like it. I'm a traditionalist. I'm a Luddite when it comes to. I don't like the modernisation of sports TV that
mm,
much. The only thing is, at least they got Matt Dawson in the studio, Michael Dawson in the studio.
nice.
Is that the host of the show? Is that um? Is it Kemp? What's his name? Kemp.
I don't know. I'm not watching it right now.
Martin Kemp's son.
I Ross Kemp.
No, no.
Wait. No, wait, wait,
I'd
wait,
like.
wait, wait. I'm thinking of the wrong character.
I'd
No, I'm
really.
thinking of the no. I'm thinking of the one that's Ross Kemp's son. The one that's on
No.
Capital. Is it Ross Kemp's son?
Yeah, Martin Kemp's son. That's what I said.
Yeah, the
The
one that's on
Martin Kemp
Capital
was in.
T.
Yes, that one. That's it. I
Yeah,
think it's him.
you think it's him? That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's Ross Kemp though.
Yeah. Is
Is it not
it?
Ross Kemp? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Ross. Wait, okay. Let me have a look. No, it's not Ross Kemp. It's not Ross Kemp. Ross Kemp's a bald man. Hang on, wait, wait, wait,
Ross Kemp is the guy who was in EastEnders, and he does all those.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
go,
yeah.
I,
Sorry,
I'm going.
that
I'm going into a prison to talk to a load of really dangerous people. That
Martin
one.
Kemp, son. So he's in there. Roman Kemp. There we go.
Roman. There
Roman
we go.
Kemp. Is it Roman Kemp?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. It
interesting.
is.
Or is it?
I
Yeah,
think that's him.
is it
Is it
James
him?
Alcott?
I don't know. Just who's presenting?
I have no idea. I can't. I can't. I can't check. Is there any last minute deals? Let's have a check for last minute deals. See what's happened. Uh, latest news: Man United are putting a child in goal and hoping for the best.
Well, let's be
Uh,
honest. I said to Man United mate of mine the other day, says you should get a cardboard cutout of Peter Schmeichel, do a better job than that man.
they still stay still. Harvey Elliot's doing his Villa medical. Donnarumma and Edison are doing their moves. Is Gahey deal in jeopardy? Might be.
It is Roman Kemp.
It is Roman Kemp.
Yeah, he's got a regular show on Sky Sports. Premier
I did
League
not know that.
Friday. I shall be
Interesting.
avoiding that. Yeah, he's
Interesting.
also a
I didn't know he
gooner.
was a big football guy.
He's a gooner as well.
Uh,
It just seems that they only hire gooners at Sky.
let's have a look. Let me see. I haven't actually looked at Fabrizio for a little while. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see where we are. Let's see what we've got cooking.
Have you? Have you? I've got to show you this. To see if I can share this with you.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can do it.
Victor Boniface has gone to Werner Bremen, which is a huge move. Kevin from Shakhtar has gone to Fulham.
I've shared my whole screen. I think. Hold on a minute.
Ben Chilwell has gone to Strasbourg.
Really?
Yeah, he's gone to the other
We're all the Chelsea
Blueco.
players.
Yes, the other Blueco team. Interesting move. I mean, I guess good for him to get some game time. Feel sorry for Ben Chilwell. It's just if injuries weren't so horrible to him, he'd probably be playing a little bit more.
Yeah. Where is it?
Nicholas Jackson to Bayern Munich is unbelievable. Like I think he's an underrated player. He does all the right things. I know he misses a couple of sitters, but he's not 15 million euros plus 80 million euros good.
No.
He's not 95 million euros good.
Uh,
There is not. I can't see any. Oh no, there is a here we go for Mark Gate. So
it's happened, has it?
I'm sure. I think it doesn't feel like it's off at the moment. Uh,
There you are. Can you see that?
I can.
Read the comment at the top.
Garnacho to Chelsea makes very little sense to me because I mean they bought in Pedro
Like
Neto
like
last
all of
season.
Chelsea's transfer strategy. Let's be
I
honest.
feel like this one makes less sense because they they put off the Xavi Simons deal, who's a much better player in my opinion. I think Garnacho's good. I do think he's a good player, but he's I think he's of a similar level to Gittins, who they've just bought in for £50 million. I think he's at similar level to Pedro Neto, who they brought in last season for £70 million. I know Mudrik's off on his uh, uh, dubbing with his dubbing issues, but
Yeah.
it feels like where is he going to play and when is he going to play? I mean, I guess he can play off the right, uh, I guess, but Estavio or Esteval or however you pronounce it has looked really bright. I mean, I know he's only 18, but he seems
Yeah.
to be the guy, and I think that's why they got rid of Madueke. So it's
But again, like he was the
you know
guy like last season. So like I feel like they play them until they play well, then they move them on at a profit, and then bring the next one in from
yeah
Strasbourg where they've parked them up. Do you know?
yeah
I reckon there's like this like it's like a coach park at Strasbourg. There is a football pitch there, but the rest of it's just like a storage area. It looks like one of those. Like when there's a disaster and all the people move out of the area and they put those tents up. I reckon
yeah.
that's where they hold all of the Chelsea players, the Chelsea squad. Uh,
Yeah, it must be really interesting if you're the Strasbourg manager. Like I know you're getting a load of really great players that are almost, kind of too good for you. But it's kind of like, right, I've got my team set up and Chelsea are like, oh, here's another one by the way. And you're like, oh, okay, let me move him. Okay, if I move him here and move that guy over there, then okay, I can make the team work. Oh, here's three more, and you're like, oh no, oh no,
Stop
and you have
now.
to play them all. Yeah,
Apparently the fans hate it. They really hate it.
yeah.
They're very sick of it all now.
I mean, they've had some
Well,
good, they've had some good players on loan there, but I mean, they're only on loan, so it's kind of like you can't really build a kind of team of players you love because they're just all just cycling back towards Chelsea.
Exactly. So and I think that's the problem with for the fans, right? That they they get all excited about a player and then they lose them very quickly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just it's just a Chelsea training ground. It's not a football club. It's not a history and they're not making something. They're not building something. They're building
No.
something for someone else.
Yeah. Exactly. And I don't know what the. I guess that they get access to better players than they could afford.
Yeah, I
The
mean
only thing
that's a
I can
great
think
thing,
of.
but I mean I know
But they
it's
don't get
just
any. There's no continuity with the team, is there? It's like probably a different team every
yeah,
season.
yeah, and there's nothing there's nothing they can do about it because I mean obviously it's Blueco, so it's
Yeah.
they can just do what they want. So
Yeah.
yeah,
The best thing would be is if they qualify for the Champions League and then they were absolutely snookered.
yeah.
But
Oh
they'd probably
god.
throw it on purpose, wouldn't they?
Yeah. Would I don't understand how it works with the. I mean, I know it works with money for the big teams. You just slide a bit of money over the table, and
Yeah.
the conflict of interest in European games uh, goes away. And I know, but if it didn't, I don't know what team, well, how they pick, because Leon over Crystal Palace. I don't really know why it was them. Maybe they finished higher, more points coefficient or
Well, they
something.
Leon
But
got, but Leon had issues, right?
yeah,
they were relegated or
for a
something, weren't
second there,
they?
yeah,
And then
yeah.
it got overturned. But so yeah, I think it's just it seems to be that there's a big mess with all of the the multi club ownership
Yeah,
models. It's quite
yeah.
interesting when you think that that's how we started with ENIC, right? We were one of a stable of teams
Who
that
else was
ENIC
there?
Rangers.
Really? I didn't know
Uh,
this.
yeah, they had not a full ownership, but they had like part ownership in about 4 or 5 clubs.
Okay.
So I've got that's what I talked to you about the other day about the. I'm kind of interested. There's this archive. I really hope it exists. There's an archive of the Spurs list, the old,
Yeah, yeah.
um, like the way that all the Spurs supporters used to like join a community. It was all based on email lists back in the 90s, before all of this fancy shit came along. And I'd love to find the discussions around ENIC buying the club back then,
Mm,
from Sugar, and see what the sentiment was like about, because at the time I think everyone by the end was pretty sick of Alan Sugar, but
mm.
actually there was it was a big change, and yeah, didn't hasn't exactly been smooth riding for him, has it?
Absolutely not. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well. Well, I think we'll probably wrap up. I got a number doing another recording later this evening with
Okay. Look.
Thomas and Glenn. We'll do a quick summary. We don't have a game to look forward to this weekend because of the international break, of course. But at least we finally get to see Jed Spence in an England shirt, hopefully, which been a long time coming. Very happy about that. But thanks
Red.
for joining me. What red one?
I was no, I was going to say Red Jed Redemption. I saw someone say
Oh dear,
Return
that's
of the Jedi. I've also seen.
oh no!
It's
Please
amazing. I
stop.
love this.
But I'm really happy for him. I think been deserved. He's been excellent. So good for
Hmm.
him. All power him.
Yes.
So appreciate your company tonight, Josh. I think it's been great to go through some of the business. I think
Yeah. Absolutely.
unfortunately
Thank you
in
for
the
having me.
end, most of the business was done earlier in the day, which is probably not a bad thing. But yeah, there was no sort of surprise last minute big deals. But we knew
Okay.
that there's actually a lot of deals did get closed out today, so
Yeah.
it was interesting. I think yeah. So all good.
Yeah.
Thanks
Thank you for having
everyone.
me.
Thanks to all of you who've watched the stream. Appreciate it, and please like and subscribe to the channel. You can get more content from us going forward. So appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.